Okay, this is a response or a continuation to Colleen's video, and as I was saying earlier, some of the problems I get or the concerns that people have when they email me is, man, I feel so alone. I feel like I'm an island. I feel like nobody understands me. People are always wanting to change me. People want me to conform, and there's such an oppressive force for those that want to be awake, for those that want to live free, for those that don't want to follow the rest of the sheep. There's an oppressive force that wants to herd you back in. And there's two approaches you can do. And I've gone through both of them, and I'm telling you, one of them is so much more tranquil than the other. The other is kind of like beating your head up against a wall over and over and over. And the first approach, which most people do, is they want to, okay, when we awaken, we're excited, we're jubilated, we want to have others be able to experience the enlightenment, the illumination, the tranquility and peace and awareness that we've experienced. This is natural human nature. And we just energetically go out, and whether it's we want a political conversion, a religious conversion, food conversion, we want other people to see the light too. And this is banging your head against the wall. And trust me, I've done this. In my exuberance, the steam was sucked out of me because there was a general apathy amongst most people. Most people are so worn down by the grind of their everyday lives, by all their obligations, responsibilities, possessions, financial stresses, work stresses, that you add, it's like that puzzle game Jenga where you add the puzzles, there are little pieces on top of each other. You add one more piece and tell them you need to change your eating habits. You need to change your political affiliations. You need to wake up and see this. And that's what you're doing. When you come to people and you start promulgating a certain belief, philosophy, lifestyle, it's like, oh my God, I just can't. They are thinking, I just can't add anything else. Or it's strange, it's weird, and they don't want to have anything to do with it because it's much easier in the short run to conform. In the long term, there's immense price to pay. So once we start going and sharing like our gifts, we feel like we're giving you gifts. Come on, how could you not want this? And there's a saying in the Bible where Jesus says it's like putting pearls before swine. And not that other people are swine. I wouldn't go to that level, but just say other people aren't interested in what we have to share. And what we try to do is put that square peg in a round hole. I'm going to make you interested. Okay, I didn't convince you the first time. I'm going to go at you again, or I'm going to alter what I say so I apply more pressure, and then we're just like trying to put this square peg in a round hole. It's not fitting, and we feel drained. Oh my God, maybe what I believe is not right, or why am I so alone, or it's just easier to conform myself. The far more successful approach, and it's an out of print book called How I Found Freedom in an Unfree World. Harry Brown transformed the way I view this particular subject. He says it's far easier to find kindred spirits. Find people that already believe like you do. Find people that you have that commonality, that core commonality of they are awakened or they're on the path of awakening. And also advertise who you really are. Because most of the time we're so busy wearing masks, and the work mask, the family mask, the friend mask, that people that might genuinely be interested in who we are never get to see a clear snapshot, a clear picture of our true identity, because we're always trying to, fill these roles and live unauthentically. And it happens on a subconscious level. You really have to beware to live moment to moment authentically, being true to yourself despite the consequences in the short run. In the long run, it is the most rewarding path you can take. And once you start doing this, once you start being authentic, seeking out kindred spirits, a great website is called meetup.com. And you go on there and you could find people that like, if you want to learn another language, people that like yoga, people that like Eckhart Tolle, people that like dancing. There are so many things that you can do to expand your circle of friends and the people that you are able to develop a connection with. So acres of diamonds, instead of saying I need to go, Colleen is in Fresno, she's unhappy, and it's a Bible Belt, she says, and there's a lot of born again Christians who are constantly trying to change her. And then her reaction is, well, maybe I should try to, change him. I'm going to put an Obama sticker on my car, and I'm going to, influence and change their mind. And then we just go, bumping heads. You believe how I want to believe. I want you to believe, and I'll believe. And I'm not going to believe the way you want me to believe. And this is constant battle. Instead, we just find out. And there are people in Fresno, guarantee it, there might be a small percentage, but I guarantee it, that are hungry to meet a person like you, that just don't know you exist. And so putting yourself out of your comfort zone and into different spheres of habits, hobbies, interests will really expand your circle of friends. So that's the first thing to do. And then the second thing to do is, when I was in this, I hate LA type stage, and the blah, 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 the people are superficial and materialistic and phony, and you get in this whole cycle. And what is so invigorating and empowering in the spiritual path is to realize you are the problem, you are also the solution. So instead, I came to a real good place when I said, wait a second, it has nothing to do with LA, all these negative feelings that I'm generating. It has to do with my mind. It has to do with me. Change me, and you change the world. Change your thoughts, and you change your surroundings. So, and I always thought, I have to go traveling so far, and I'd go to all these different places in order. I believe that's what I needed to do in order to be happy. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but the first place to start is be happy where you are. And that's just magical, because then you have a sense of peace, and you don't bring your same problems to whatever place you decide to relocate to. So I started saying, well, maybe LA, I'm going to change my attitude. And once I did, I started going to the most interesting plays. I started going to raw food events. I would go on camping trips. And I realized all surrounding LA, there's so many beautiful oases of nature, spots that I can meditate in, sit in, write, read. I'd go on hikes, and I just bought a book on all the different hikes that surround LA. I'd go down to the beach. There is just a plethora. I'd go to listen to live music, which I really enjoy. There are so many things that's that acres of diamond, that everything you need, you have right here and now. And it's only your thoughts that is creating a wall, the division from your inner peace. And once I started doing that, man, I started really to enjoy LA. And, spend time with my family. I would eat delicious food. And all that shifted was, I know it was no longer a victim. I said, I'm no longer going to be a victim based on my geographical location, based on the people that surround me. And what you hear a lot, and we're all guilty of this, is we have a victim mentality. Well, I'm not happy because I live here. I'm not happy because of the people who treat me like this. And every person watching this video can find areas in their life, whether small or large, where their happiness or contentment, their inner peace is externally based. Once you base it externally, you give up power. You give up your ability to control the destiny of your life. So, and I just think, man, start with yourself. Start by, one of the things I love to do is just listen to beautiful music. I could be anywhere in the world, and if I'm listening to beautiful music, or if I'm sitting and taking a bath, or if I'm sitting on a park bench, everywhere has park benches. I could just sit on a park bench and feel such immense joy. Everybody has that accessible at their fingertips. And to start engaging in those activities where you're at. And then what you do is, when you start those moments of stillness, those practices of stillness, whatever, it doesn't have to be formal meditation. You start generating and connecting with your spirit and soul, and it gives you the guidance necessary to make the next decision. So maybe you first say, okay, first I'm going to become content, fulfilled, happy in Fresno, and then I'm going to move to LA. Or maybe you say, you know what, I'm not going to be content, happy, and fulfilled in Fresno, and just be at peace with it. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're miserable there, accept it, and then listen within and then get your next guidance for what you should do. Thanks for listening.